One of the things that I learned about company culture, and this is something that we're doing through our programs at Master Leadership, the 4 dimension of a culture. And this is actually built on Greg Kegel's book with the same name, 4 dimension of culture. What we're learning is that when you interview 15, 20, 30 leaders and you ask them how do they define culture, you're probably going to get different answers. But if you ask the same leaders if culture is important, they're going to be, all of them, telling you that it's important. And if you ask them what's working and maybe what's not optimal about their culture, what they could do better, they can also answer that. But one thing we know is that you could have 2 different roles in a culture. You could be participant in a culture. In other words, you could be a team member. You can be part of an organization that has a culture. Or you could actually lead that culture. You could lead hundreds of people, thousands of people, tens of people, and you could be the one setting the culture. But in both of these situations, you can influence the culture. And so what we have found is that sometimes when leaders set kind of the high expectations on their people, those expectations are based on kind of how they see themselves as a leader. So in other words, if I see myself as a 7 out of 10 leader, then the highest expectation I'm gonna set on my people, it's 6, right? Because I'm gonna set those expectations based on what I think the culture should look like, what I think the performance should look like, what I think people should do. And that's usually based on what I do. So one of the best ways for you is to up-level whatever cultural level you already have is to walk the talk, is to be specific about what that culture looks like and to start living that culture's value yourself. And when you increase we call this also kind of a leadership lead, right? So your leadership level, your culture level acts as a lead, stopping like your team to kind of overcome that and go higher than that. So the best way for you to increase the leadership lead in your organization, to empower your culture, is to first kind of lead and develop yourself, to live that culture 100% of time, every day, in every single interaction. And what will happen is that people will start emulate and copy your behavior. They will see that your words match your walk and you walk your talk. And then you're going to be able to set standards for them to increase their level of leadership and level of culture as well.